There is a reason why your name resonates in his silence. Even when he runs, even when he closes the door, your presence lingers like a prayer he never intended to say out loud. The angels want you to hear this clearly tonight. You were not placed in his life to fill a void. You were sent to awaken something he buried long ago. He doesn't know how to articulate what he feels. He doesn't have the words for soul recognition, but his spirit trembles every time you cross his mind. Not because of fear, but because he sees the truth of himself reflected in your light. The angels say, "She is the compass for a heart that lost its way." He is not lost because of you. He is being undone. Undone by the tenderness of your soul, by the way your presence reveals the emptiness he thought was normal. This mission you carry, it is not small. You were sent to remind him who he is, even if he forgets you along the way. Even if he resists. Even if he walks away. Because the soul remembers what the mind denies. There's a pulse, subtle but growing, calling him back. To love. To feeling. To God. And you, beloved soul, are the voice that heaven chose to awaken him. This is not the beginning of a romance. This is the return of a purpose. And it started the moment your eyes met his. For the Lord will go before you, and the God of Israel will be your rear guard. Isaiah 52 verse 12. He is not pushing you away because you are too much. He is retreating because his heart has never learned how to stay. The angels want you to understand this. His silence is not emptiness. It's a battlefield. A place where shame wrestles with longing. He learned long ago that vulnerability was dangerous. He built walls, not because he wanted to hide, but because the world taught him that love was something to be feared. Inside him are wounds he has never spoken of. And when you entered his life with gentleness, with light, it overwhelmed him. Not because it was wrong, but because it was true. He sees in you a kind of love that asks him to show up, to feel again, to risk everything he spent years trying to control. The angels say, "She awakens the boy who was told not to cry, the man who forgot how to need." This is not about you lacking anything. This is about him facing everything he's avoided. Each time he pulls away, it is not rejection, it's resistance. Resistance to surrendering to something so real it frightens him. And yet, the thread remains. That invisible pull, that ache in his chest when he thinks of you. You are not the storm. You are the shelter he fears he doesn't deserve. Be gentle with yourself, beloved. His healing is not your responsibility, but your love. It was the spark that began to melt the ice around his heart. He does not yet know how to be held, but his soul remembers what it feels like to be safe. And that memory is you. You've spent lifetimes choosing others. Now, heaven whispers, choose you. The angels are near, and they gently place their hands over your shoulders, urging you to rest from the weight you've been carrying. The love you give is vast, but it was never meant to cost your peace. He is in a process, yes. But so are you. Do not confuse compassion with sacrifice. Do not burn your light trying to guide someone who still hides in his own shadows. Your warmth is sacred. Your presence is medicine. But only if you let yourself drink from the same well you offer others. The angels say, "She heals others by existing, but now she must remember she is worthy of her own care." He sees your strength and leans on it. But strength without tenderness toward yourself becomes depletion disguised as devotion. Your love was never meant to be an altar on which you forget your own name. Even the stars rest. Even the moon takes time to wane. So breathe. Step back when you need to. Speak kindly to your tired heart. And know this, his growth is not your measure. The angels are clearing space around you, not to punish, but to protect. If he truly belongs to your path, he will find you standing tall, not bent by the ache of waiting. And if he doesn't, you still rise. You still glow. Because your soul belongs first to God, and no one gets to dim what was divinely lit. There is a reason he flinches when you see him clearly. A reason he pulls away when you get too close to the truth. You are the mirror. Not the kind that flatters, but the kind that reveals. The angels say, she reflects what he's avoided for years, the truth of who he is, and who he's afraid he'll never become. When your eyes meet his, he doesn't just see affection. He sees the parts of himself he buried to survive. He sees the boy who still aches, the man who still doubts, the soul that still longs. Your love, so unfiltered, so alive, doesn't allow him to pretend anymore. And that, dear soul, is why he both craves and fears you. To be seen by you is not comfortable. It's awakening. It strips him of the masks he wore so long he began to believe they were his face. He doesn't understand how your stillness shakes him more than any chaos ever did. You, unknowingly, became his invitation to wholeness. And yet, mirrors are hard to face when we're not ready to see. That is why he runs. That is why he retreats into noise, distraction, distance. But no matter how far he goes, your reflection remains in him. He cannot unknow you. He cannot unsee what your presence revealed. So if he turns cold, if he grows distant, know this, he is not rejecting you. He is rejecting the work your love is calling him to do. A sacred unraveling has begun, and you, beloved, were the light that lit the fuse. It started quietly. A shift in how he breathes your name in thought. A soft crack in the armor he wore for too long. The angels lean in now and whisper, he no longer sleeps through the feeling. Something has begun to stir. What once felt distant, a dream he couldn't grasp, now visits him in fragments, your laughter echoing in his memory, your presence felt in empty rooms. He wakes with you on his mind, not just with desire, but with wonder. Who is she, really? And why does my soul feel known when she is near? He is beginning to see that your love was never ordinary. You didn't ask for his transformation. But your love demanded truth, and his soul heard it. He might not tell you. Not yet. But he is listening. To your silence. To the way you didn't chase. To the way your absence feels more honest than anyone's presence. The awakening doesn't come with fireworks. It comes with quiet questions he cannot ignore anymore. Why does she haunt my peace? Why do I feel lost without her? Even when I wanted to feel free. The angels say, his heart is no longer numb. The ache is proof that it has begun to feel again. This is not the final chapter. But it is the moment when heaven plants the seed, that maybe he was wrong to run, that maybe what he feared most was exactly what he needed. Something sacred is unfolding. And your name is written in the beginning of his awakening. He comes close, then disappears. He speaks with warmth, then retreats into silence. And you are left wondering if any of it was real. The angels want you to understand this. He is not playing with your heart. He is wrestling with his own. There is a rhythm in his chaos. A cycle of reaching out when the ache becomes too much, and pulling back when the intimacy becomes too real. He is afraid of needing you. Afraid that surrendering to what he feels means losing the identity he spent years building. The angels whisper, she touches the deepest places in him, and that is why he runs from her, not because she's wrong, but because she's the only thing that ever felt right. Every time he returns, he hopes he's strong enough to stay. And every time he pulls away, it's because the walls still feel safer than the unknown of being loved so deeply. Do not take this as rejection. Do not take this as failure. Take it as proof that your presence is a force, one that dismantles his defenses, then leaves him raw in its absence. He needs time. Not to decide if he loves you. He already knows. He needs time to decide if he can allow himself to receive that love without unraveling. This is the sacred tension, a soul that craves what it fears, and fears what it craves. You are not meant to chase. You are meant to hold your ground, so that when he finally breaks free from the loop, he knows where love lives. And it lives in you. There is something you gave him that no one else dared offer, a love that did not demand, a presence that did not press. The angels say, your love did not scream. It healed in silence. He carries wounds that predate your connection. Scars from a world that taught him love was a transaction, that vulnerability was weakness. But then you came, not with conditions, but with eyes that saw him even in his hiding. Your love did not fix him, it allowed him to breathe. It made space for the pieces he thought he had to hide. And in that space, he began to soften. No sermons. No ultimatums. Just your quiet beingness, wrapping around him like balm on bruised flesh. He doesn't know how to thank you. He may never know how to say it. But his soul knows. It remembers the exact moment your energy reached where words never could. The angels show me the image of him replaying moments with you in his mind, clinging not to what you did, but how you made him feel safe, seen, loved without need for performance. And now, in the silence between you, he is still receiving that healing. You were never just a chapter. You were the turning point. The moment he realized love didn't have to hurt to be real. He is still learning how to let that medicine in. But trust this, beloved, your love is doing its work. Even from afar. Even unspoken. And when the time is right, that love, your love, will call him home to himself. And maybe to you. There's a reason the timing feels so fragile. A reason things haven't unfolded the way you imagined. The angels are guiding every step, not just his, but yours. This connection isn't a detour. It's a thread sewn into the divine fabric of both your journeys. And even when it looks delayed, it is never denied. The angels say, she walks with holy patience, while heaven rearranges the path beneath her feet. You wonder if he's forgotten. You question if you imagined it all. But your soul knows. It recognizes that this isn't about logic or plans. This is about alignment. This is about spiritual architecture. What you feel, that ache, that pull, isn't just memory. It's prophecy. God has been working in the unseen, softening his heart, preparing the soil, making room for a love that can't be rushed or controlled. This isn't just romance. It's restoration. It's healing cycles that began generations ago. And you are the vessel. It's not your job to make it happen. It's your role to trust that when the time is ripe, everything will unfold with the grace only heaven can orchestrate. For the vision is yet for the appointed time. It hastens toward the goal, and it will not fail. Though it tarries, wait for it will certainly come, it will not delay. Habakkuk 2 verse 3. Stay faithful, beloved. You are not waiting in vain. He was never taught that love could arrive without demand. That to be seen deeply did not mean to be dismantled. And now, your presence has brought him to an edge he doesn't yet know how to cross. The angels lean in and say, he feels safest when unseen, but your love so tender made hiding impossible. This is not weakness. This trembling inside him. It is the beginning of surrender. He wants to open. But the door he's locked behind has known too many storms. And even the warmest knock feels like a risk. You touched a place he had closed off long before you arrived. Not because of you, but because of all the echoes that told him love was pain dressed in promises. Now he questions everything. What if she leaves? What if she sees too much? What if I am not enough when all my masks fall away? He hesitates not because he doubts your love, but because he doubts he can hold it. That he is worthy of such purity. And still, the walls begin to soften. The silence holds less fear. The pull grows stronger. Because even with the ache of vulnerability, your presence feels more honest than the armor ever did. The angels want you to know, he is learning. Slowly. Sacredly. To feel without running. To speak without trembling. To trust without proof. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9. He may not say it out loud. But in your love, he sees the safety he never thought he'd find.